Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness. Rage across the street magic. I don't even know. We will set today's scene. Much as the last time that these particular characters came across each other at a particular library that is on Maev's way home from the garden slash park that she's been working on with Lucas. So as before, she will depart the subway, give a wave to the kin that have been accompanying her thus far, and go ahead and pop out with the little arm bag so common to frequent library users with her books and whatnot stuffed inside, and she'll end up traipsing up, and unless her her elusive friend is already in residence, which I mean he hasn't been for a couple days, so she's not necessarily gonna go scouring after him yet again. But she'll probably go through the process of returning a handful of books, tug out one that she's not quite done with yet, and finding one of the armchairs that's kind of tucked in various places for people to sit and have themselves a read. She'll just kind of flop down, pop up her book, and flick through to the memorized page number, and just kind of immediately fall into the story where she left it off.
A couple tables down, there's actually one table that has two very high stacks of books. So high, in fact, that it actually obscures the person sitting down as he leans over the table. Apparently, his head buried in one book that's in front of him. And eventually some time expires, and whoever is sitting down at this table will stand up. And if Maeve is looking, it is Scott. And he will begin to wander off. He'll grab one of the books that's on top of this two large stacks that's on the table, and he'll begin to wander off.
Oh, well, she may not be planning to go and hunt through the aisles, but it doesn't mean she won't spare a glance up at the end of every couple paragraphs or the end of a chapter to just kind of glance around, see if he happens to be there. I mean, if not, she'll finish the book, return it, and go grab the next in the series. But lucky her, an upward glance will catch her a brief view of the blonde before he promptly snags his book and wanders off. And so she will take advantage of the absence to simply take up her little fabric bag and wander over and just perch herself down at his table, not looking necessarily at what he's reading up on or whatever notes he may be taking or whatever else he's doing, just kind of plopping in one of the other chairs at the table and pokes her nose back into her book, because goodness knows how long he'll be scavenging with piles like that.
It's not too long before he returns. In his hand is a new book. Evidently, he just went to drop off one and grab another. But yeah, he comes back and sets it down on the table. He's just kind of oblivious to his surroundings.
Does he just put it down and then go and sit back in his seat and like just immediately put it?
Pretty much.
She'll glance up when he sets the book down and kind of start to smile, and he'll totally just miss that she's there, which is unusual but not necessarily insulting.
He's a very focused man.
He really is. And so she'll kind of pause and go ahead and take note of the page number, close her book, and gently set it on the table. And once he has dived back into it, we'll kind of stand up, blinking, and just lean over the stack of books. And I mean, she's not going to stare or anything, but she'll kind of lean over with an inquisitive glance and say, "Compelling stuff, huh?"
At the first utterance of noise, a quick movement of hands and ruffling pages, and he quickly jolts in his seat, and then looks up at you. And as soon as he recognizes who it is, he quickly stands up. He just shoots straight up, and the chair actually slides back like a foot as his legs bang into it. Hi. And one finger just points at you. Hi.
Hi?
I missed you the other day. Yeah. Sorry about that.
What happens?
And then he blinks a couple times, looks around, and then on the table is a satchel. It's a very manly satchel.
Very masculine satchel.
Very, brown leather, broad strap. Very manly satchel. And he'll dart to it, grab it, open the flap, reach in, pull out a small little paperback, and hand it over to Mary. This is what I promised.
And she's probably casting him not what's the term I'm looking for? Because it's almost kind of a teasing look, because he is abruptly very stiff and obviously very uncomfortable, whereas the first time around they were just kind of chatting and none of that was happening. So she's just kind of giving him this sort of teasing look. And she'll hold a hand out and take the book and kind of flip it over to look at the cover, glance at the back. It's a paperback, so maybe it has one of the little summaries on the back.
I don't remember if it does, but on the front it's a very dark cover with a cityscape in the background, and it prominently features a guy wearing a trench coat, carrying a staff, and he has a very wide-brimmed hat, like an actual fedora, like Indiana Jones style, or maybe a duster hat. I think that's what they called. Wide-brim hat, yeah.
You remember what the books are called again?
The Dresden series, but this one in particular is called Stormfront. And there's actually a little sticker, or not even a sticker. It's just a little emblem that kind of looks like it was a sticker just slapped on, but it was actually part of the printing process. And it says, "As seen on Sci-Fi." And in the lower right corner if she flips it over to the back to look for a summary, I think it's just testimonials from other authors or whatever.
Probably. If it's got a "as seen on Sci-Fi," it's probably just a bunch of "look at our great reviews."
Jim Butcher sets the atmosphere. It's fun. But the lower corner of the back cover has a sizable chunk missing. It was just torn off. Like it's quite clear that it was not like an accident. Like it was a deliberate tear.
So yeah, she'll kind of glance at the cover and smirk at the little printed on sticker, as it were. Because she and I are both the kind of people who will be like, "Oh, look, copies of The Hobbit. That one has the character from the movie on it. No, I want the one with this really crazy drawn anything but that."
Yeah.
So she'll kind of smirk a bit and flip it over and see the chunk ripped out, and kind of tilt her head faintly and glance up and be like, "So were you mauled?"
What?
Well, I mean, I can't imagine you did that. Got I don't know, pet dog or angry ex or something?
Oh, no, that's how I mark my collection.
She quirks her brow and looks at the cover, and looks up at him, looks down at the chunk of cover that's missing, and looks up to him.
The rest of the book is pristine, by the way.
And she does, and he'll know what she's doing, but she'll take it and kind of flick through the pages to look at the corners to see if they're dog-eared, and look a little surprised when they're not.
The spine doesn't even look bent. Like that little crinkle of a paper that a paperback gets, you know?
Yeah, like day one.
Not even that.
She just like she does that flick through the pages. She looks at the binding, looks at the spine of it, and then just flips it over, looks at it, and looks at him like, what? But why?
You know, I lend people books all the time, and some of them have come back less than perfect. And this just eases my mind a bit, I'm like, you know what? It's already ruined. What more could happen?
I guess.
You can P&E him if you want.
I will, because that is what I do. You're on the wrong screen. Stop it. Excuse me.
Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see my dice.
I will have the faith.
I got 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4? Okay. You know what? When he says the word perfect, like, he would really like for that book to be perfect. But for some reason, he just can't have a perfect book. And yeah, he may very well be lying through his teeth right now.
But it's still obvious that it pains him deeply that book is that damaged.
Yes.
So she's not gonna by any means call him out. She's curious, but I don't have that flaw, so I don't have to be obnoxious. So she'll just kind of sigh at the poor book and kind of, if he's close enough, which I assume he is if he handed off the book, kind of reach out and like kind of pat a hand on his shoulder. They're like, no, I know that feeling.
Yeah, some real assholes out there,
Yeah.
I'm lucky if I get it back at all.
Oh, that's terrible. And I mean, that's even worse because it's not like they're treasuring it and reading it. They're just jerks. Set it in a corner or something and never gave it back.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I ask them, I'm like, hey, what'd you think about it? They're like, well, yeah, it was okay. Well, why'd you wreck it?
Well, it was a book.
You couldn't have just left it alone? Like, maybe read the first chapter and then said, you know what, this is not for me. I'm going to just
give it back?
Seal it and protect it forever until, at least it's like back or something,
Yeah, some people are just jerks. She says, imagining what Chino would do if she ever was so unwise as to lend him a book.
But yeah, so now this oddly gives me peace of mind in a way.
Well, you can rest assured that I will not wreck your book. It would take some dire circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. No big deal. If it happens, it happens,
Well, I mean, I would do it anyways, but I don't hate you. Why would I wreck your book?
You hadn't gotten to know me yet?
Well, yeah, but
maybe that'll change, and then you'll be like, yo, fuck that guy.
I doubt it. I have put up with many worse people. I have some very strange friends.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah. So what are you in the middle of there? You were pretty, you had your blinders on pretty hard.
Oh, yeah, I just get in the zone, I find a topic that interests me and come here and just grab anything that catches my eye. But this one book, it referenced another book. And you know what? Whenever that happens, I feel compelled to go seek out the book that it's referencing. Delve deeper into it. And you can follow just a crazy train of thought, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, especially if you're in the library, why wouldn't you? I mean, while you're here, why not just go for what's at hand?
So yeah, that was just it. Is, you know, looking up little ghost mysteries, you know.
That's kind of neat. Like, stories about them, or like, you know, she kind of does the little the finger wiggle with her free hand, since the other one has a book in it, because, you know, the based on true stories ones.
Yeah, more of the nonfiction variety, like, you know, referencing the spiritualist movement of the, you know, earlier 20th century, late 19th century, that kind of stuff, and some of the religious practices and their beliefs on spirits, and then from there it's just an open world.
And she'll kind of, you know, she actually, God help her, starts looking interested, and kind of settles herself back down in the chair, hoping that he will do the same and relax some instead of standing there stiffly. And scooches a little closer so she can see him, but again, is not like looking. She's not at a vantage where she could easily see anything he's been writing or doing, just for the sake of peace of mind.
He'll kind of wax poetic for a little bit longer about ghost this, ghost that, Ouija board this, hoax this, hoax that, until he finally gets the hint and finally sits down.
That's fine. If he's having a good old time, she's not going to stop him. She's definitely nodding along and probably periodically asking, like, "You think that stuff's real?" Like, especially with stuff like the Ouija board, where it's such a prevalent thing that you have to wonder if there isn't a grain of truth type stuff.
Well, and he pauses. Real is such a weird word.
It is, isn't it?
Like, people's reality, you know, it just, oh God, I'm going to sound like I'm smoking pot for a second.
No, do it.
Like, belief is so powerful. When two people or three people or however many people can sit around a Ouija board or holding that little thing and it goes around the letters, you know what? People can kind of make the truth manifest when they ask that damn Ouija board a question. I don't know if I just made sense there or not.
No, it does, because, I mean, whether it's real because it's happening or it's real because you're subconsciously doing it yourself, it's still, you're making the thing that you believe, you're giving yourself the proof to make it real, at least to you.
And maybe that's the ghost, as it were, that kind of collective truth that people find, you know.
And she'll nod
Can't
along.
see it.
I mean, there's a whole practically country of people here, and goodness knows how many beyond that believe in a magical bearded man in the sky, so how unbelievable can magic be, really, or ghosts?
Yeah, it's wild world. But I finished that book that you wanted me to check out.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't too much romance and not enough magic.
A lot of birds.
A lot of birds, yes.
A lot of birds. And a cat guy.
Yeah.
I got to watch out for cat people now.
Well, I mean, specifically the eerily self-made, weirdly sexy, but clearly malicious and powerful Catman. Firm nod.
I should have realized I had to watch out for cat people after that, you know, the movie Cat People.
The movie Cat People?
Oh, you haven't heard?
Mm-mm.
Oh, like the original is like a classic, like horror kind of thriller movie. Very weird plot. I'm surprised, you know, it was like an old black and white movie. Yeah, really weird plot.
I believe it.
Nodding a bunch. Really weird.
Like, how weird?
He inhales. Well, it's about a lady who is afraid to go to bed with her husband because she was terrified that she was going to change into a cat and kill him.
She blinks a few times.
Really weird.
Yeah, that does seem like a weird premise, yeah.
And then they remade it in the 80s. And that was that was weird.
Like, even more weird?
It was very very Cinemax. I don't know if you get that, but yeah.
There's the big innocent blank eyes, and she shakes her head a
Yeah,
little
never
bit.
forget I ever said anything. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not worth your time. The classic, maybe. 80s,
Well, good to know that we've got a trend of evil cat people.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Well, no, I mean, there's also, like, that musical. They're not evil.
Oh, yeah, the Lloyd Webber, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Memories, yeah. It's been a while since I saw that one. Jesus, didn't it just end?
Hmm?
Like, it was like the longest running show on Broadway. I think it finally ended.
Did it? I mean, I didn't really keep up with much.
He pulls out his phone and he quickly Googles it like I am.
And she will wait patiently for the results.
It looks like it's still there, just from a cursory glance. So, crisis averted.
Still the longest running then.
Yeah, it's kind of like The Simpsons. I don't know if anything's ever going to beat it.
Take your word for it.
But yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if this wacky book was my bag, but it was definitely food for thought.
Well, like I said, there's definitely a lot of romance and stuff, and there's a lot of attitude in that one. And that is kind of the one where she goes nuts. Like, she wrote a lot of books where magic was very much like a minor tool that you could use. And this is kind of where she cut loose and went bananas, and it's magic everywhere for days.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Bond birds. That was
I love them.
Yeah, that was an interesting concept.
They are really neat. I do like them. And of course, like every girl in the world, I'm fond of companions, but this is one of the first ones where she shows that the companions kind of have motives of their own and will push to get what they want, as opposed to just kind of going along with the good of the kingdom and all that.
You know what? I didn't think about that, but that's true. Wow. Yeah, you always hear about like familiars and everything as, you know, the faithful servant of the wizard or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in there, and he points to the book he handed you earlier.
Yep, she's still got it kind of idly in her hand.
He's helped for the most part, but he yeah, the one in there, he's a little lecherous.
That'll happen. I mean, I'm not worried about it. At least he's got a personality, right?
Yeah. Oh, he does. even if he doesn't get around much. You'll see what I mean.
I will. Katie's gonna go find this freaking book. Need to start the series anyways.
It's actually called Stormfront, the first one.
I looked up the cover to see what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Every single cover is like that. I could have used that description. It would have gone off of every single freaking one. Except for like the first edition cover stuff. But whatever.
So I may have been thinking about how you said you're all about the languages. How many do you speak? Or read or whatever?
Right now, let's see, including English, 6.
Wow, that's a lot. You weren't joking.
Yep.
So I don't speak anything but English. But I mean, my parents came directly from Ireland, and I might have that kind of girlish fascination for where I come from. And I know it's
So you
kind
want
of
to
a
learn Gaelic.
yes. But picking up languages doesn't seem to be my strong point.
Well, it just so happens I was interested in learning Scottish Gaelic eventually. My name being Scott and all. That's kind of what the name means. Someone who spoke Scottish Gaelic in it, you know. Believe it or not.
Names come from some pretty weird places. I mean,
They're quite literal. Like if you think back to it, like the name Smith, like it literally meant a smith, a blacksmith. You trace it back long enough. I mean, you get some pretty basic definitions, but But yeah, I was definitely going to study Scottish Gaelic. I'd have to look and see if there's the Irish variety, if it's how different it is from the Scottish variety. But I can definitely assist you in this.
oh, good. I mean, I have a lot of family over there, and I don't know that I ever will visit them, but I get the impression that a lot of them are really traditional, like really traditional.
Like dance around Stonehenge traditional, or
I may have danced around a couple bonfires in my lifetime.
really?
My parents brought that over here.
That's really cool.
I mean, most people just kind of assume at a glance that it's, you know, the silly New Age Wicca pentagram wearing stuff, but and she'll kind of poke at one of her necklaces, which is just a little bronze wheel. But no, I mean, there's actually really something there that my ancestors believed in and my family believes in, and I love it.
He's actually going to look at that wheel that you pointed at.
Hmm.
Do you have to know what it is? Oh, see.
Yeah, it's a very prevalent image in druidic beliefs. The wheel represents everything from, like, you know, the turn of the seasons. It represents a lot. So a lot of artifacts that they've found that are linked to all that belief system are wheels with varying numbers of spokes, but wheels.
Okay, I just made a intelligence esoterica symbolism roll with 2 successes, so I'll just assume I got all that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, there's definitely other belief systems that believe in a wheel, but considering
he
she's
knows.
been talking about this.
There's one in particular he knows about, and it freaked him out, but he's going to connect the dots in his own head. That's, yeah. Now that I see that wheel, it's stuff starting to click now. Okay.
And she tilts her head a little, but doesn't seem to really think much of it.
but yeah, we can learn together.
I figured it would help having someone to learn with. I mean, like I said, I can draw some of the old alphabets, but I don't think I could really translate them. I have to go back to my books.
I can kind of that. Yeah, that's no problem. I've got a knack for this stuff, so I'll figure it out.
Yep. Maybe whatever tricks you're using will help me.
I've tutored several people before, and it's actually one of the ways I make money on the side.
I'm sure I can give you something for it. Sorry, I keep lagging, so I'm going to turn down my shit a little bit.
Okay.
So my quality is going to stink, but at least I'll be able to hear you.
Okay.
So sorry, say that again?
He when you said offer something in return, he said, "Oh no, it's all right. Just how about we meet someplace other than here? Like we're already starting to disturb the people around us."
And she'll kind of wince a little bit and kind of glance around apologetically and then nod. Okay, where?
It could be a coffee shop if you have a particular coffee shop in mind that you like to go to.
I don't really have a lot of places I go. I kind of stay with my extended family and I go out to take care of the garden, but otherwise I kind of stay in our big old, I don't even know what you'd call it. Maybe a commune. Just a whole bunch of us.
A commune?
Well, not really, but I don't even know what to call it.
Multi-family home then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if there's a place that you nearby, I could always just meet you there.
Well, I mean, the park's kind of. Do you know where Carroll Park is?
Carroll Park.
It's down south of here.
Yeah. I think I know where that is. Yeah.
So I'm there frequently because I've got friends and family and volunteers helping with the park there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like a nice little quiet area, that'd work.
It's not especially quiet right now, but there's also I'm sure there's cafes and stuff nearby or something.
That sounds good. I'll start checking out some books, dictionaries, whatnot. Looking up online, and I'll get cracking on this.
Is there anything I should get or bring or?
I mean, independent research is always good if you want to look for things, but otherwise, I like I said, I think I can get it.
And she smiles brightly. Because this sounds like fun and a nice normal thing to do with a nice normal person.
So normal.
So normal. So yeah, she brightens considerably. Oh, this will be fun. It'll be a nice change.
Yeah, just let me take care of it. Besides, you got a book to read. He points at you.
Okay. I can do that. She just the little kind of props herself up a little more primly.
Yeah, and he looks back over to his gigantic stack. I should probably start to.
You want a hand?
Yeah. That'd be. I would. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And she'll take the book she's been handed and go ahead and tuck it into her, satchel of sorts. And and move to help him with collecting whatever books he kind of gestures to, because she doesn't know what he's still playing with and what he's not. And
if she elects to stand up first, as soon as she starts to move to stand up, like he'll like dart up and the chair flies back another foot or whatever.
This time she's going to outright kind of snicker, because that's pretty funny.
And then, yeah, he will do his best to try and take as many books as he can at once.
She's not going to fight him on it. He can totally be the man and take all the books ever. And, oh, God, he's going to... Don't drop him. Don't drop him.
He's like, I got this.
Are you sure you have a grip on...
Fine.
You could make more than one trip.
He starts rattling off, like he's saying fine. You understand it the first time, and then all of a sudden he rattles off a Spanish word, a German word, a Chinese word, a Japanese word, a Latin word. And then finally he just kind of makes an onomatopoeia. He just goes, pong, and you're not really sure what to make of that, but then he rounds back around to fine, and then it just goes through rotation as he's painfully carrying this large stack of books.
She will not stop him. She will let him do his thing, but she will go ahead and collect whatever pile remains, because considering how many there were, there's probably still a considerable amount left. And she'll take a second to flick a glance across the bindings to where they all go and reorder them a bit before picking them all up so that they're easier to shelve.
And yeah, it was pretty much what he said. A lot of spiritualists and some kind of hokey, like true ghost story kind of schlock.
Tell me spooky stories to tell in the dark is in there somewhere.
You know what? What happened to it? It didn't even show up for me. Okay, there it is. No, it's not there.
Darn. That would have been classic.
You know what? Fine, it was. Fuck the fate dice. It was there.
Fuck the fate dice. We can't even see it anyways. Nobody knows.
All 3 volumes.
Oh my God. Nice. She will go, not necessarily with the same ridiculous enthusiasm, but we'll efficiently move about the shelves and the aisles, hunting out what's the word I want? Like the area that type of book is in, because most nonfiction is divided by subject, so there will probably mostly be in about the same spot, or at least on the same aisle somewhere.
He'll probably finish putting up his stacks just because he remembers where he got them from. He'll finish up his stack quicker than you, despite you having the smaller stack. And he'll come and point out where they go before going back and getting another stack and repeating the whole process.
And she will continue to assist in this process until the books are all back in their homes, as they should be.
And once they're finished, he'll walk her to the entrance, because this time he doesn't have any books to check out this time.
And actually, neither does she. Crazy.
And clearly winded from the ordeal. So next time, what was the name of the park? Can't remember. Too tired.
Do you want me to text it to you or something so you don't forget?
Text, yes. Oh, my number. And he pulls out his phone. Yeah, here's my number.
And she goes through the comical, but at this point familiar to Will process of kind of fishing into a pocket, pulling out her phone, pulling out the battery. This time not nearly dropping it or fumbling or trying to put it in upside down. She manages to click it in pretty promptly this time around, because that's the first time that's ever happened. And snaps the back cover back on, flips it over, flips it open because she can't have nice things, and turns it on, and kind of glances over him and goes, "So, I might need a hand."
A hand for
A hand with the. I am really bad at this phone.
That's an old phone.
I'm not used to having a cell phone at all.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's great. It's a fine phone.
I know it's bad.
Utility,
I've seen a thinky phone. I know this is old and sad.
Utility is underrated these days. Sometimes you just want to make a call and you don't want to slide a lock screen and input numbers. You just kind of want to flip it open and just go, It's great. And he'll put his hand out to take the phone.
Yeah, it's probably just easier to let him put it in himself. So she will hand it over and let him do that.
And if this was a certain werewolf, he would get sneaky and look at contacts. But since it's not, it's this guy. He's just going to promptly input his phone number and hit the call button. And then hand it back to her. And then after a brief moment, his own phone will ring. And he'll make a big show of it. I wonder who that could be. And he'll pull it out.
It's cheesy, but you know what? No one ever does that shit anymore, so she'll probably get a laugh out of it. It's a straight up like dad joke, but
it is.
They still make you laugh, even if you hate them.
And so then he'll quickly hit do not accept, don't know that person. And just have the phone back in his pocket.
Well, I guess that means you have my number now, so good. Way more efficient than watching me try to put it in there. I'm really good at missing the buttons.
You'll get it.
Yeah, eventually. That or I'll just, I don't know, go through life starved of technology. Unable to communicate with another human being because everyone will have chips in their heads or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not in too much of a rush to do that. I still haven't converted over to PDF.
To what?
Oh, and he kind of thumbs back to the library, and since they're still inside, still annoying the people around them. Over in the sitting area, there's a couple of people that have iPads. He's like, "You see those contraptions? They look like a big one of these," and he holds out his phone again.
Yeah, the electric books.
Yes, the inferior book.
It's not the same.
No, not at all. And I'd have a hell of a time marking it because I can't just tear a corner out of a iPad.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work out so well. You may want to find a new signature move for that.
But it works. It I'll think about it. It's a little late for my collection at this point, but in the future, I'll yeah, I got an idea.
Yeah. Because that's... Like, I can tell that hurts you as much as it hurts me. That's terrible.
Oh, fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He gets a corked brow.
He has one of those smiles that's like, eh.
Okay, it's fine. But, yeah. I mean, unless you're going to take one of those things and immediately, like, shatter the faceplate, I really don't see how you can follow up that signature move, so.
Oh, no, and I'd cut up my hand something awful. I don't like to bleed.
Well, most people aren't huge fans of bleeding for extracurricular activities, voluntarily and all that.
Yeah.
So
prefer it stays in here. Just points to himself.
Yeah, I'm kind of of the same school of thought on that.
And it's about this time they'll notice the checkout clerk giving them both a dirty look.
Okay, so I guess I will go catch a ride home.
Yeah, I came by subway myself.
Oh, well, then I guess we're walking together for a minute.
Yes, we can do that.
And she'll shoulder her bag and kind of tuck her thumbs in her pockets.
And he will shoulder his satchel.
His very manly satchel.
Like you can hear the leather crinkle. It's like. Rrr.
It's probably got one of those needlessly giant buckles on it, so
Yeah,
there's like some clicking.
Huge. and he will open the door for her.
And she'll bob her head gratefully and follow him out. Or I guess precede him out.
No, he's doing that after you, whole shebang.
And she will precede him out.
And off they go to the subway.
For more awkward chatter on the way home until I assume he'll get off first because she's going all the way to Manhattan. But
oh yeah, he'll definitely get off first.
and she will, for the sake of note, kind of take a glance to get a general idea of where it is, where the stop is, once he's left and they've waved and whatnot.
Queens.
Well, very well. Oh yeah, she'll glance up and be like, oh, Queens. Okay. And go ahead and continue writing the thing home and probably pull out the book for the rest of the ride. Poke her nose in it.
He'll actually wait at the subway station for the train to pull away and give the wave as it pulls out.
Aw.
Yeah.
And she'll do the same and be smiley and whatnot. Because he's very nice.
And unseen to her as the subway pulls away, he'll begin walking up the steps and just kind of do one of those double fist pumps.
And with that gesture of victory, we will end our scene, I think.
Yep.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And you have been subjected to Nerd Date Part the First.